Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana, and I am in my Beehive studio this morning. If you are watching me on YouTube, I am not live, so if you have questions or whatever, please post them down below in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them later. If you are watching this on Facebook right now, I probably am live, so I welcome your comments, and if you're watching this as a replay later, I will definitely get back to any questions or comments that you have. Good morning, everyone. So today is Casing Tuesday, and it's the day when we take a card out of the one of the current catalogs and we give it a makeover, or if you prefer, you can copy the card exactly if you have the same supplies on hand. I tend to like to change things up just to challenge myself. Most of the time I change the card, and it's a great way for beginners and for advanced people, advanced stampers, to try out new styles. And it's a great way, if you're new to stamping, it helps you with your layers because you're copying the layers and just changing things out. And we have a sketch for that too, which is great. We started doing those at the beginning of the year. Each card now has a sketch to go with it, and so the sketch gives you the measurements for all the layers, and it makes it a lot easier if you're starting out and you don't have an idea of really how to size things. So it's really great. You can just kind of pop in the layers just like the sketch is done. So anyway, I love today because today is the last day of winter and we are heading into spring, and it kind of feels like this week we finally have kind of turned the corner. A lot of the snow has melted here in Boston, which is awesome. Well, actually, if I look out right now, I can see some of our bulbs are starting to come up right by the river. I just noticed that just right now. So that's awesome. And so it really feels like it's starting to get warmer. It's still cold when I go for my walk in the morning, but it is generally warmer, and I love it because this time of year I love to have the windows open and the fresh air coming in. So okay, I've blabbed enough. I'm going to turn my camera around and I'm going to share my card and I'm going to stamp it for you. Oh, and thank you, Marie, for sharing my video. If you want to share my video, thank you so much. That's awesome. I really appreciate you if you do that. So let's start off with a card that we are copying or giving a makeover. It's actually a very pretty card. It's kind of got this lacy background. I do think that these doily thinlets are no longer available though, but you can recreate that. We do have another set, I think it's like the Eastern medallions, that I think you could do something similar with in the background. They are in the annual catalog, and then it just has this flower spray here in the circle, and I love this, but I did something completely different. I took my little dog up right here from the Happy Tales bundle, and I just added him. So this card looks completely different than the one in the catalog, and I'm going to show you how to make it. I also like, don't let me forget to do this, I also did the inside, so I just added some more of the paper and stamped some hearts. So I kind of finished off the inside a little nicely this time too. So here's the Happy Tales bundle, and I hope you'll check back with me later this week if you love my 3D things. I have a 3D project coming up with this bundle later this week. But as always, when a bundle appears in the catalog, you can save 10% when you purchase them together. After the catalog they appear in, they no longer will be available as a bundle. I don't know if this is going to even be carrying over, so that's the first thing. If you like this bundle, I would think about getting it sooner rather than later, as you never know when things will go on, like be retired or whatever, especially from the Occasions catalog. But this is together as a bundle. It's 10% off, so I always recommend doing that. It's really nice to have the punch so you don't have to fussy cut around the tail and in here in between the front and the back legs. So it's really handy to have that punch, and the heart is really great too. Okay, let's do the stamping. So you'll need a piece of just scrap Whisper White to start off with. I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad and just ink up my dog. I have him here on a D block, and I'll just stamp him over here in the corner like that. Then I'm kind of partial to turning the dog into a Dalmatian, and I'll tell you why. Because for this card, it's about stamping quickly, because it is a kind of a quick card, and for Dalmatians you don't have to do any additional coloring. And I know if you saw my projects last week, I did a lot of coloring last week with the teapot, so this week I was kind of like, let's not color as much. So if you turn the dog into the Dalmatian, you're done with the coloring. So the one thing, you just have to kind of orient these spots. This little 2 dots that dangle off, that's on the ear. So I just kind of twist that towards the ear, and then I just kind of align the dots so that they all kind of fall within the dog like that. I think I am done with this. And so we'll take our punch. Where did I punch? Over here. Just open it up and align it. Like that. I don't need that little heart. What else? Okay, I need to stamp Friends and Forever and cut them out. So I'm going to use the Blueberry Bushel ink pad for that. And before I forget, I do have a host code going this month. So if you spend $75 or more, I am sending everyone a package of clear faceted gems. And right now, if you spend $50 or more, you can choose a celebration reward, and it's increments of $50 or $100. There's different reward prizes for that from Stampin' Up during celebration. So it's a great time to place an order, because celebration's ending in about 2 weeks, so you don't want to miss out. I'm just going to stamp Friends here and Forever right underneath it. Actually, this greeting used to be together, and I cut them apart for another card. So there's enough room to use your scissors to cut them out. It's kind of nice to have the Friends separately, because I can definitely see how you could sometimes just want to stamp Friends. So I do cut some greetings apart, just kind of depends on what I need to do. So let me just cut this out of this block right here. Let me move this aside. And so I'm just going to first just cut along here. I know this is not very precise, but it's not really meant to be precision cutting, but it's pretty easy just to cut straight across the bottom, just to cut out Friends. That is not really hard, and I think you can get a fairly straight cut going on. But I kind of took the look from the card, and that's what they had, so that's kind of what I'm going for. And just cut out the Forever. And I'm going to get rid of scrap pieces of paper. The other thing I'm going to need is, I have my circle punch somewhere, the 2 1/4 inch circle punch. Open that up. I need a circle for that layer. This card doesn't have any die cutting on it, so I use just punches. I tried to stick to just punches since the dog is a punch, so I thought, let's do this all punches. I have a banner layer going in the center, and so I start off, this is 4.5 by 1 1/8 inches. So I'm just going to banner punch both of these with a triple banner punch. So I'm just looking kind of at the bottom, just aligning it in the center. The reason I'm not using the front part of the punch is that my layer is just a little bit bigger than the middle layer, and I found that it was kind of, I didn't do a good job lining it up on this end, so I'm just kind of turning it around and doing it from the back side. So, but I am making sure it goes down to the end. So if you start off with 4.5 inches long, you should get pretty close to the correct length that you need. So it's banner punched on both ends. And then we have a little piece of the, this is both of these layers. Let me pull these both out. This is the 2018-2020 Designer Series paper, and it has all the in colors like Pineapple Punch, Blueberry Bushel, Lovely Lipstick. It has all those colors in it. And so this is a piece of Blueberry Bushel for our front layer, which is 4.25 by 5.5. And then I took a layer of the Pineapple Punch. This one's 4.25 inches by 1 inch. And I'm just going to take the scissors, and I'm just going to take a little tiny bit off, probably coming in about 1/8 of an inch. And then I'm just going to snip up on an angle. You can decide how steep you want the angle, but this is not really precise, but I'm just kind of cutting off just a little piece of it. All right, let's see, what else do I need? I think I've got all the pieces. I do need to tie some ribbon, but I think I've got all the pieces and we're ready to assemble. So you'll need a card base, and I'm using Daffodil Delight. Wanted a really bright card, not Daffodil Delight, it's Pineapple Punch. I wanted a bright card base, so I chose that to contrast with the blue. And this is 11 by 4.25, and I scored it in half at the 5.5 inch mark. I need to fold it. Let me grab my bone folder and smooth down the fold. And then let's grab some Tombow. What's your favorite adhesive? What is your go-to adhesive? Do you like snail, like a dry runner adhesive, or are you a Tombow fiend like me? I tend to put Tombow on a lot of things. I just find it easy. All right, so I'm just gonna line this up with the front layer of my card. Yeah, I'm using the whole layer of Designer Series paper. I'm like being bold, right? Okay, then I'm going to come in with this piece of Designer Series paper, the yellow. I just love blues and yellows together. They are so nice. Let's go about there. This is maybe about 1 1/4, 1 1/8. No, definitely 1 1/4. I think I went a little higher on this one than I did on my first card, but that's okay. I just kind of want it a little bit towards the bottom because I don't like to center everything. When you center everything, it looks too contrived, so I like to kind of skew it off a little bit. I'll take the banner, and this little guy goes just a little bit above the other one. Make sure it's straight. See, it's just a little bit higher. I'm trying to emulate the look of this card. It actually, when I was creating the sketch, I zoomed in on this card. And it's kind of hard to see, but the banner piece that I have in the back, this yellow piece right here, it's the same as what I did. It's kind of banner punched on both ends, and it's about that long. And this piece that you have trouble seeing is a piece of ribbon going back and forth. So instead of doing the ribbon back and forth, I decided to put another piece of Designer Series paper back here to kind of give it the bulk or more color than just the ribbon would have. So going to add the circle next. Actually, you know what I should have done? I need to make sure that I have enough room for my dog. So I'm just going to kind of lay them both like this. Because if I go too far over on one side, then I won't have room for my dog. Okay, that's good. Okay, now for the dog. And he just kind of needs to go just a little bit to the side. Okay, that's good. And then we can add Friends Forever. And I just kind of lay it out first to make sure that I like that. And then a little Tombow here. And I make sure it's on enough of an angle so that people know that you wanted it crooked. If it's only slightly crooked, people look at the card and go, oh, she meant to have it on straight. No, I meant it to be crooked. Because if you're going to be crooked, you may as well commit to the crookedness, right? Yeah. So, okay. So if you look at this card right now, I haven't put the ribbon on it yet, but I just want to show you just how that little pop of lovely lipstick ribbon really adds the final touch. Like I definitely need something on that Dalmatian to pop him a little bit. So just that itty bitty piece of lovely lipstick grosgrain, and I'm just going to take a little piece and just put a knot in the very end of the ribbon. Keep it simple because tying this into a bow, this grosgrain gets a little too bulky. So you just want a little bit of a, okay, that's too much. These are not ribbon cutting scissors, so you can tell that is a little harder to cut with them. I'll need a little glue dot, and so with these glue dots, they're kind of, as the roll progresses, they get kind of thick. So I kind of actually turn the glue dot into a glue blob on my paper piercing tool. So it's like a little bit more, it's smaller, okay? And I'll just put it right on his throat, and then I can add the ribbon on there like that. And it just makes such a difference to have that ribbon there. Let's do something with the inside. So for the inside layer, I just wanted it to be a little smaller. So this layer is 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And this layer, I think it's about 1/2 inch by 3 3/4 inches. I just use, you know how you have these little pieces of designer series paper left over, little tiny scrappy pieces. Where is my, here, I'll show you what happens. Okay, so you know, like you do different things and you end up with these little tiny scrap pieces left over, and if it's designer series paper, I tend to keep some of them, and they make really nice pieces for gluing on the inside of the card. So yeah, I keep some of these if they're big enough. With cardstock, if it's smaller than 1 inch, I tend to throw it away, but with designer series paper, yeah, I kind of keep it at least until the cycle of the catalog is over, because you never know what you might need a little tiny piece for. So I'm just going to glue that down here at the bottom. Okay, and then you can take lovely lipstick. It's all in the same family. It's all in the same color group, because these are in colors that will be around for another year, so it's great. You can ink that up. Move this over here. And the way I did this, I kind of eyeballed it. Oh, I got some ink on my block. Don't want that, because the next thing that's going to either be on my finger or the cardstock. Okay, so the way I did it, I kind of eyeballed it, and I did, okay, you're going right here in the center, like that. And then I went, okay, I know I can probably stamp over here on the side. So I did that. And then I came over here. I said I can probably handle stamping over here. I notice on my little heart, I'll have a little piece of dust or something. I'm picking up a little speckle or something. All right, I hope I got rid of that. I can just see it. You maybe can't see it, but it's like being repeated on all the stamps. So then I'm kind of eyeballing. I want 2 in between. So I just kind of getting them in between. And then I'll do 1 more and 1 more. And then I just have a cute little row of hearts down at the bottom. So it just adds a little something. There's still enough room to write on here, but you know, it just, you know how like you put all this effort into the front of the card and then we kind of forget about the inside of the card. It looks a little plain. So this is a way that you can add just a little bit of something. Just take that piece of Whisper White and add it to the inside, but take one of your scrap pieces of designer series paper and then just, you know, add it. And then you can just take a image from the stamp set that you were using. Maybe you don't have a tiny heart, maybe you have like a little flower or something, just put it down there in the corner, and then it just adds a little something to the inside of the card. So there is the card. Here's the one I made earlier. So you can see that's really not a hard card to make. I like this layout because it's a little different. You know, it's not your traditional, you know, big layer layout, but it's kind of got a nice, you know, little cluster of happiness right there. And I think it's a cute card, especially once you have the inside and you can see, you know, the yellow and the blue and the lovely lipstick are all kind of together. Makes me happy. All right. Oh, someone says that they like fast fuse. Yeah, we had fast fuse for a while. I think the only problem with it is I think if you weren't shown how to use it in person, I think some people had difficulty with the dispensing of it. It was a nice sticky adhesive. So yeah, that was a good adhesive. Let me go back and read the comments. Oh, someone from Massachusetts and from Denmark and California. Wow. From Missouri. Cool beans. Yeah. Okay, I'm turning this around. All right, so now I have a challenge for all you guys. You saw my card. I want to see your card. And you know how you can share that. I'm sure some of you already know this. We have a Casing Tuesday Facebook group. If you want to join that, just click on the link down below in the description and you can join. And I've already been on there this morning to post my card. We have, like, you know, I post the challenge of the week, the same layout that I did. That's the layout of the week, and you can join in and give it a whirl. There's a bunch of different designs already, so you can get some ideas from that. It's nice that you can take this layout and change it into whatever you want. Some people will do flowers. I did a dog. I saw someone else did like the gears from that masculine set we have. So there's a lot of different options. So I hope you will join us if you feel like you want to post your card. We would love to see it. And it's just, we're a very kind group. So don't feel like if you're a beginner, like, oh, I can't post, my card's not good enough. We all have to start somewhere, and it's good to start off posting your cards because that's what's going to propel you to, you know, stamp more and get better. You have to start somewhere practicing. So if you're new, don't feel like only experienced stampers will stamp over there. Please feel free to stamp, and then we comment on your cards, and it's kind of fun. It's a nice little community, and I hope you will share your card over there. And if you need anything that I've talked about today, any of the supplies, you will find all of those over on my blog, and I love my customers and I reward them with free tutorials. So if you don't already have a demonstrator, or if you're already a customer of mine, thank you so much. I hope you guys all have a great week. I have one more, I have that 3D project coming later with the Happy Tales bundle, and next week I will be back here on Tuesday with another Casing Tuesday card. Okay, take care guys. Bye-bye.